Hello, everyone. Welcome to another week of chair yoga. So, I'm recording this on a Monday. Monday seems to become my chair yoga recording day. And it's also today International Women's Day. So, since I know most of our viewers and from our chair yoga group are, of course, women, happy International Women's Day to us all. And well done for choosing to spend some of your day practicing some yoga today. So, let's get comfortable. So, for those of you that are new today, chair yoga is a practice suitable for everyone. And we're going to make sure we sit for the whole session and that we are comfortable. So, make sure that whatever chair you choose is really truly comfortable. You make sure there is a backrest, so somewhere you can lean your back into. You may want to have some arm rests on your chair or not. My chair doesn't. Without arm rests, you have a little bit more space to move. So unless it's a mobility issue, I generally tend to recommend a chair without without arms. But of course, it can be useful to hold on to help yourself to get up and sit down. If that's the case, a chair with arms is what you need. So take your time, grab the bits you need. We don't need any particular props for today's session. We're going to be working a little bit on, it's a little bit of it's always a little bit of a whole body mobilization, but today we're going to work a little bit more on our legs. And to make sure that we're not running out of time, like we always do, I'm going to keep the rest of my chatting for the rest of the session and maybe throughout the session. Good. So let's get nice and comfortable. So sit back on your chair. Your feet want to be resting down on the floor, roughly underneath your knees, or to start with, you can push them away from the body, just so your thighs can settle down. If that's uncomfortable, then keep your feet drawn into the body and the palms face upwards towards the ceiling, gently pulling them back towards you so the shoulders can soften. And give your head a little shake from side to side. Swallow a couple of times. And then allow your eyes to gently close, softening the whole body. Take a slow breath in through the nose and a big sigh out through the mouth. Inhaling again deeply. Exhale out through the mouth. Let's do it one more time. Deep breath in. And a slow breath out. Allowing yourself to rest here. And without having to change anything, just bring your awareness a little bit more inwards. Whenever we start a session, a yoga class, you might find that your mind is not quite ready to cooperate yet. It might be jumping around, it might be giving you to-do lists, it might be telling you what to have for lunch. Just notice when that's the case. Let's do that with a sense of kindness. And almost as if by magic, as soon as we observe the thoughts and we notice when the mind is distracted, when we are planning, when we are thinking about what's next, that the mind can then let go of this and come back to the present moment. And in yoga, we are using a large repertoire of tools to help us to do so. So beginning by noticing the weight of your body as it settles down into the earth. Notice the soles of the feet grounding down into the surface beneath you. Maybe you are wearing shoes or socks. Maybe you are barefoot. Can you observe the temperature of the surface beneath you, the soles of your feet? And maybe can you notice any texture? Does the surface feel hard? Does it feel soft? So much there's so much to observe in such a small thing as the position of our feet, moving up to the hips, the weight of our seat, feeling the weight of the body pressing down. Does it feel even? Or does it maybe feel as if one side is a bit heavier than the other side? Noticing again the temperature, the texture, and then letting that go. And finally, bring the awareness to your arms, your hands, and whichever way they are resting on your thighs, whether with palms up or palms down, noticing that contact point. Notice the point that feels the heaviest, and where in the body the contact feels a little bit lighter. And then let that awareness drift away. Take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. And let the awareness come onto your breath. Not changing anything yet about the way that you breathe. Just observing, starting with the movement in the body as you inhale and exhale. Noticing the speed of your breath and the depth of your breath. Now let's slowly begin to lengthen the inhalation and exhalation without any rush, just over the next few rounds. With every inhale, take a little bit more air into the body. Good. And then one more breath here, taking even more air into the body, all the way up to the rib cage. And then a slow breath out. Invite a little wriggle into your fingers and into your toes. And rotating at the wrists. Take the fingertips away from the body and find a stretch. The stretch may be down towards the floor, or you might want to take the fingertips up above the head, up towards the ceiling, growing tall, whichever way your body needs to stretch right now. Let that happen. And then release the arms down into your lap. Gently blink the eyes open, take a low gaze to begin with. And then maybe allowing the gaze to slowly lift. Good. Let's shuffle our way away from the back of the chair if that feels good in your body. So just that there's a bit of gap between the back of the back of the chair and your back. So we're starting to use our inner core muscles to find a little bit of length in the body. Roll the shoulders up, back and down, and then take your hands onto your knees. Gently press the hands into the knees so we're growing a little bit taller. Give the head a gentle shake from side to side and see if you can activate through the center. So we're drawing in slightly through your seat, your pelvic floor starts to activate, it starts to lift, and the lower belly draws gently back towards the spine. So in yoga, we call these our bandhas, or you can call it the core muscles. In either way, it has a really important function for our body, helping us to sit a bit more upright, but also helping us to avoid injury. Almost like a corset that stops us from moving too far or too quickly into postures. Good. So thinking of it that way, keeping that length, release the arms by the side. Inhale, reaching tall, growing. Exhale, bring the palms down. Let's do that again. Inhaling, growing tall. Exhale, draw the palms down. And one more time, inhaling deeply. Exhale, bring the palms down and release them onto your knees. Inhale, draw the chest forward, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, bring the chin down to the chest. We're going to a cat and cow movement. So I'm going to move sideways so you can follow in case this is one of your first sessions with us. Inhale, draw the chest forward, lift the heart. And then exhale, chin to chest, rounding the spine. And for me, my belly started to get a little bit into the way. Not just because I've been eating too much chocolate, but also because I'm pregnant, in case you've missed that. Good. One more time. Inhale, draw the chest forward, lifting the heart, lifting the gaze. And then exhaling, rounding the spine, chin to chest. Let yourself sink forwards and down. Good. Uncurling, coming back into center. Sitting nice and upright here. And let's find a very gentle twist. We're going to use a little flowing twisting motion. And let's be very mindful that twists should feel good. If they don't, if there's any pain, discomfort, or strain, then make the movement smaller, or maybe even choose to skip this part of the exercise. Inhale, take the arms up towards the ceiling, up towards me. And then exhale, we're going to just swing the arms around towards the left. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, swing the arms round towards the right. Allow the gaze to follow. We're going to continue to flow here, using your breath as a guide, keeping your hips pointing forwards. So we're inviting a sense of opening through the middle, the upper part of the spine, the neck. Good. Let's do one more time on each side. And then exhale over towards your final side. Inhaling back to center and exhale to release, rolling the shoulders up, back and down. Good. Nice and upright position here. And we're going to straight away find our way down to our feet and begin to walk out your feet. Simply by starting to lift your left heel and your right heel away from the mat, walking on the spot. This is always a great way to start any focus on the legs, especially in colder weather. And it is still a little bit cold here today. This morning when I left the house to drop the little one off at nursery, it was 2 degrees. 2 degrees. Well, based on the daffodils I can see out in the garden, though, spring is not going to be far off. So we've got to hang in there and wrap up warm and walk out the feet in the meantime. So you encourage blood flow down to the toes. We're encouraging the calf muscles to activate. The calf muscles have a really important role, which I'm sure if you've been coming to my classes, you have heard before because I keep going on about it. And yes, we're still walking on the spot, fast or slow. It doesn't matter which speed you go. Okay. So the calf muscles, they're called the second heart because they help the circulatory system to pump the blood back up towards the heart. So blood goes down, gravity assists, and then the calf muscles help to bring it back up. Good. Let's really soften and release the feet down into the floor, lifting, keeping the feet grounded, but see if you can lift the toes. So all 10 toes away from the mat. So I'm going to pretend my fingers are my toes here as well. And then we're just going to slowly from the edge, from the little pinky toes, begin to place the little toes down, one at a time towards the floor. And this may work for you or it may not work at all. Good. Once the big toe is down, walk out the feet, let that go. Good. Let's do it again. And don't get frustrated if it doesn't work. Even the pure act of thinking about our toes moving, it does help to re-establish neural pathways. So let's do this again. Grounding through the feet, lifting all 10 toes, and check that the feet are not starting to roll in or roll out. They're really firmly glued to the floor. Just the toes are lifting. And then this time we're going to go from the big toe, starting with the big toe, ground it down, second toe. This is where it gets really complicated. Second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and little toe. And then walk out the feet. And even if your toes have just given a little wriggle, that's a win. Take the wins when you can. Good, let that go. So hopefully our feet are a little bit more awake. So let's stretch them out a little bit. I'm going to move sideways so you can observe a little bit easier because you might not be able to see if I stretch the foot straight towards you. Shuffle yourself straight to the front of the edge of your chair without falling off, please. No falling off. And then extend the left leg out long. Flex the left toes back towards your face. And if you want to go a bit further here, you can slide the hands behind your left thigh, interlace your hands behind your thigh, and then lift the leg. And this way, flex the toes back towards the face. Then we're going to point the toes and flex the toes. We're going to do that a few times. And check that you haven't started to do this. We don't want to lean back here. We're going to stay in our upright position, zipping up here through the front. So really activating through the center. And you can also do this with the toes resting on the floor. Good. And then back into stillness. And we're going to begin to draw some circles. Going one way and then the other way. Good. There might be some clicking. There might be some popping. That's okay. Then scrunch the toes together. Scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. Spread them wide and then lower down and let that go. Whew, good. So warming up through the feet. Then moving over onto the other side. So the right leg extends out. Actually, I'm going to have to extend it towards you. There's not really, actually, there you go. I can do it sort of a little half turn. Extend the right leg out long and then flex the toes back towards your face. So for me, my right hip at the moment is quite sore, the joys of pregnancy. So I'm going to keep my right leg lower it down to the floor, but you can lift it if you want to. So if you want to, slide the hands behind your thigh and lift it. Flex the toes, and then we're going to point the toes. Flexing back, pointing. So I'm trying to practice what I preach at the moment and listening to my body. And this is really the one thing, if you take it away from my sessions, I will be happy with. Listen to your body. Every day you are feeling different. If something doesn't feel good, let it go. Let it go. Tomorrow is a new day and it probably feels completely different. Begin to draw circles with your foot. So drawing nice big circles here, going one way and the other way. Good. And then we're going to scrunch the toes, spread them wide, and this might give you some clicking sounds here. One more time, scrunch them, open them wide, and then let it go. Slide your leg back, and then walk out the feet just for a moment. Good, beautiful. Excellent. So we're going to do a little bit more strength work here for the legs. If you have any sore lower back or sore hips, you can move further back onto your chair now, just to give yourself a bit of support, a little bit more support. Good. And we're going to come back, starting with our left leg. Yeah, our left leg. Interlace the hands behind your left leg, and then extend the leg out long. So you may keep that heel on the floor, or you may lift it. If the leg is lifted, it may be lifted a little bit, it may be lifted a little bit higher. Hold it here for an inhale and exhale. Hold it for another inhale and then hug it into the body. Inhale, extend it out, kick the heel away, flex the toes back towards the face. Exhale, draw it back down, draw the knee a little bit higher. Inhaling, extend it out. Exhaling, hug it in. If you feel super strong today, you may want to take the arms away for the last couple of rounds. I'm definitely not feeling strong, so my hands are staying behind the leg. We're already on the last repetition. Inhaling, extend it out. Exhale, hug it in, and then draw the knee a little bit closer into the body. The toes point down to the floor. And then either holding onto the leg or letting go. We're going to take little pulses here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then release and squeeze that hip. Give it a good squeeze to let it go. You might feel that all the way up in your hip crease. Maybe it almost feels like your leg is about to cramp. So let's give a little tap and then swapping sides. So interlace your hands behind your right leg, come onto the right toes. And then either keeping the leg down on the floor, or we can extend it away from the body, taking an inhale. Exhale, flex the right toes back towards your face. So just getting that extra stretch. Inhaling one more time, and then exhale, hug it in. Inhaling, extend. Exhaling to hug it in. Good. 3 more. It's going to go by really quickly. And hug it in. Let's do the last 2, maybe with a little smile that makes it go past faster. And the last one already. Hug it in. Hug it in. You can lower your toes for a moment down. If not, keep the knee lifted. And then we're going to take a little pulsations either with our hands behind the knees or not for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then release and give your thighs, the hip crease a good rub. Let that go. And then give the head a shake from side to side. Close the eyes. Take a slow breath in. And a big sigh out. Let's do it again. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Gently blinking your eyes open. Good. So I've promised you a focus on legs and leg strength. This is what you shall get. So we're going to move for a little sequence where we are going to introduce or work on a few warrior postures. Warriors as in fighters rather than we're worrying. If that makes sense. Good. For that, shuffle yourself away from the back of the chair if that feels good. And then heel toe your feet apart as far as it feels good. If you have any pelvic pain or discomfort, the knees are not going to go very wide. So for me, this is probably as wide as I go. But if you feel very open here, you can walk the feet as far apart as you feels good. We're going to extend the left leg away from the body, flexing the toes back towards the face. And this is why it's important that we sit towards the edge of the chair. Otherwise, we can't straighten that leg. If we're not sitting at the edge of the chair, don't worry, just keep a little bend in the knees. Good. Grounding through the toes, and then just extend the left toes away from the body. And the next inhale, we're going to reach the arms up above the head, growing tall. And as you exhale, let the arms come out to the side about shoulder height. If this is not good for your shoulders, lower the arms, no problem. And then take your gaze gently over your right fingertips. And imagine I'm pulling your right middle fingertip and your left middle fingertip apart so the chest is open, the crown of the head is lengthening up to the ceiling, and the feet stay pressed down into the floor. So there's a sense of lift through the center. Let's take an inhale here and an exhale. Next inhale, flip your right palm up to the ceiling, and then inhaling, reach the right arm up, and the left arm goes down the back leg, down your left leg. If that's not good in your top shoulder, you can lower the arm down. Inhaling to reach, and then exhale, sink the right arm over towards the left to come into a reverse warrior. So this can look differently for you. Maybe it's without the arm, then we're just leaning back. Maybe you're not going so far at all. Or maybe you're reaching all the way back, opening into the right side of the rib cage. Take a long breath in here and a slow breath out. Inhale, reach the arm back up. And then we're going to reverse the movement. Release your right arm down onto your right knee. Forearm rests down onto the right knee. And then slide your left arm away. And we're going to swap sides, reaching the left arm high. And maybe allowing it to come alongside that top ear. Maybe the arm is in front of the face, or maybe the arm is all the way down. The important bit is that length through the left side of the rib cage. So we are opening one part of the rib cage, then we're opening the other. Maybe the gaze goes up to the ceiling, maybe it goes down to the floor. And check that we're not dumping our entire body weight over on that poor right arm. Instead, there's a sense of lift through the center. Take one more inhale. And exhale, inhale, reaching up, and then release the arm down. Slide your hand behind the left leg, and then gently draw it in, and roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Good. Let's do it on the other side. So sliding your right leg away, flex the right toes back towards the face, press the left foot into the floor. We're growing tall. So really finding that length, and actually release the right toes down. We don't want them flexed here. Good. And then here, with that sense of lift, we're growing the palms up to the ceiling, growing tall. Exhale, open the arms wide, warrior two. Close the eyes for a moment and really imagine I'm pulling your palms apart. And there's a little string attached to the crown of the head that's drawing you up to the ceiling. There's a sense of pride and strength in this posture. The gaze is over your left middle fingertips. Good. Take another slow breath in. And a slow breath out. Flip the left palm up to the ceiling, and then inhaling, reaching the left arm up. The right arm sinks down onto the right leg, growing tall, and then reversing your warrior. Reach the arm above the head, and this again may look differently for you. Your arm may be in front of your face, or the arm may all be down on your knee. Just work with where you are in your body. Breathe deeply into the side of the rib cage, giving your lungs space, the upper body space. Last inhale. And exhale, inhaling, reaching back up. Exhaling, lowering your left forearm down onto your left knee. So, extended side angle posture, our last posture in the sequence. Slide your right arm away and then reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Maybe your gaze follows, or maybe the gaze is down to the floor if that's better for your neck. Reach the arms up. Let the arm sink alongside the top ear. Maybe the arm is in front of the face. Maybe the arm is down on your thigh. It doesn't matter. Take a slow breath in. And a slow breath out, inhaling, reaching that right arm back over, that right arm over onto the right knee. Give your right knee a little helping hand and then walk your feet a little bit together. Let's take a forward fold to really release here. Let your chin come forward down towards the chest. Let your forearm sink down. Head hangs heavy. And release the fingertips down towards the earth if you have space. I definitely do not have space for this anymore. My belly is getting too big. But if you can, or if you want to, release the fingertips down towards the floor. Soften the jaw, soften the face, letting any strain disappear here from the lower back. And then slowly walk the hands back up onto the knees, uncurling the spine, and bring your feet together. So we're going to shuffle our way back towards the back of the chair so your lower back can rest down. And then let's finish off with a little bit of love and attention to our shoulders. Because, I mean, if you're a human adult, then your shoulders will always benefit from a little bit of love here. Draw the chin down towards the chest. And then let the chin sink over towards your right shoulder. And exhale back to center. Inhaling over towards the left shoulder. Exhale back to center. One more time. Inhale, draw the chin over towards the right shoulder. Exhaling to the middle. Inhaling to the left. Exhaling back to center. Good. Let's do that one more time. This time holding there. Draw the chin over towards your right shoulder. Hold it there. And then just take a few gentle movements through your neck. Drawing circles with your chin or letting your ear come down to the shoulder a bit more. Do this with your eyes closed so you can just find a stretch that works for you, that feels comfortable, that gives you a bit of a challenge. And if you want to go a bit further, we can then release our left fingertips down towards the earth. And as a final step, if you want to, take your right hand, slide it over onto your left shoulder and give yourself a little squeeze. Squeezing the shoulders, the neck. Good. And then swapping sides, chin comes down to the chest. And then over towards the other side. So let the chin come towards your left shoulder. And then holding it there, a few little movements with your chin, just to find a really good stretch for you here. If this is too strong, you can soften, you can ease. Releasing your right fingertips down towards the mat, down towards the floor. And if you're right-handed, this probably feels a lot more challenging. As a final step, take your left hand over into your right shoulder and give your right shoulder a good squeeze. And then let the chin come back down towards the chest. Bring both hands onto your lap, uncurling through the spine. And then push the feet slightly away from the body. Let the whole back rest down into the floor. Bring the palms facing up onto your lap and allow the eyes to slowly close. Take a slow breath in. And a gentle sigh out. Inhaling again. And And sigh. Take one more. And release. Exhale out. And allow the whole body to get heavy. Letting go of any need to control the breath, the need to control the mind, and the need to hold any muscular effort in the body. And then let's bring the awareness slowly down onto the sole of the right foot, releasing the top of the right foot, the right toes, ankle, lower leg, right knee, right upper leg, and the right side of the hip. Releasing the sole of the left foot, top of the left foot, left toes, ankle, lower leg, left knee, left upper leg, and the left side of your hip. Release across the belly. Soften the lower back, middle back, upper back, into the right shoulder, right upper arm, elbow, lower arm, top of the right hand, palm of the right hand, right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Releasing across the chest into the left shoulder, left upper arm, elbow, lower arm, top of the left hand, palm of the left hand, left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Release all the way up the neck, across the throat, softening the jaw. Release the tongue, the cheeks, nose, eyes, and forehead. And just for the next few moments, allow yourself to rest here. And if you notice that your mind should wander, notice where it's going to. And then bring the awareness back. And you may have to do this again and again, and that's okay. And slowly, without moving or changing anything, just bring the awareness to your surroundings and the sounds that you can hear wherever in the world you are right now. Noticing to begin with the sounds that are the furthest away from you, outside the room you're in, maybe outside the streets, in your garden. Just with a sense of curiosity, noticing, identifying the sound, and then moving on to the next. Until you move closer to your body, into the room that you're in, the sounds that you can hear, maybe my voice, maybe the sound of your breath. And then slowly, without any rush, begin to deepen your breath. like we did at the start, just taking in a little bit more air into the body with every inhalation. And then find a little wriggle for your fingers and toes, and do this slowly, starting maybe with just moving your toes, your fingers, before letting the head join in. Let it sink from side to side. Let your ankles rotate, the wrists rotate. And then when you're ready, extend your fingertips away from the body, down to the floor, up towards the ceiling, whichever way you need to stretch, waking up your body ready for a beautiful day ahead of you. And then slowly, slowly, let the palms come back down. Bring them together in front of heart center. Find a soft gaze or keep the eyes closed, your thumbs in contact with the sternum. And then, as always, take a moment of deeply, deeply felt gratitude towards yourself for making the effort, taking the time in your day to practice. Let's honor that, our bodies and each other. Gently bowing your chin towards your heart center. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed the session. Slightly different. There's always new things to explore. So I hope you're feeling a little bit more awake and that you're gonna have a lovely day ahead of you. Make sure you stay nice and warm. Thank you to those that have been commenting that you have been enjoying this new setting. Yeah, it's kind of cozy to film my sessions from home, even though I do miss the studio, and I'm looking forward to being back there to recording our sessions. But for now, it just feels a little bit more cozy here to do there. Also, I've been bumping into a few of you in person in Blackheath, which has been lovely. So I'm always keeping an eye out, even though it's sometimes a little bit hard to recognize people with only half a face showing. So those of you who've seen recently, it's lovely to see you. Everyone else, thank you so much for joining me. Um, Hopefully, with the weather getting warmer, restrictions easing in the UK, it won't be too long before we at least can practice together outside. Some lovely outdoor sessions. Those of you that weren't around last year here in Blackheath, we've been practicing outside in the lovely garden of the Age Exchange on lovely summer's days, having a coffee afterwards. It's glorious. Hopefully that's going to be back soon. But in the meantime, we're going to continue our online sessions. So thanks for joining. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you hopefully next week. Bye bye.